the first episode of Rapid Fire with me, Jazz Takhar. I always tell my clients, my colleagues, I think I'm best at rapid fire. So for you to get your questions answered about real estate, business, sales, entrepreneurship, just leave them in the comments of whatever platform you're watching. The first question we have is, how can I build a strong social media community? Well, the easiest way to do it is to actually engage with your followers. The amount of times that I see colleagues and just people online not actually commenting back to a comment that a follower put in. Look, that's like if you ask me a question and we're sitting at a bar or at a coffee shop and I don't answer you. It's kind of similar to that. So you want to engage and build a strong community, make sure that you actually comment back. In fact, go even further. Go on other people's posts on Facebook, on Instagram, and LinkedIn, on Twitter, and comment back with something that's thoughtful. Don't just do it to get something back in return. Go and engage. It's the easiest and best way to build a social media community. So the next question is, should I buy to live in a property, or should I actually get an income property? Depending on your specific financial qualifications, you might even want to look at doing both. Let me explain what I mean by that. It's a thing called house hacking. You can actually buy a property that has more than 2 doors, okay? So just picture a bungalow that has a main floor and a basement apartment. What you can do is you can actually live in the basement and rent out the upstairs. What's the benefit of doing that? Well, the rental income from the upstairs is actually gonna cover your mortgage payment, possibly your property tax, maybe some of the utilities, but see how you're actually able to get both. If you ask me, well, Jazz, I can only do one first, I would for sure go down the route of getting an income property, because you can always rent where you live. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, most people think that their principal residence is an asset when it's actually a liability, because anything that goes out of your pocket is considered a liability. When income is coming in, that's a true asset. So there's nothing wrong with renting where you live. Just make sure you invest the rest. So the next question is, why is there a mortgage pre-approval needed when you're buying a new build for something that's going to be ready in 3 years from now? It is actually only needed for the builder to get their construction financing. See, for a crane to go up in the sky, the building has to be sold of around 75 to 80% of the units. In fact, if they don't have the pre-approvals from each buyer, the builder can't get financing to start construction. So that's why a mortgage pre-approval is needed, to make sure that the purchasers are qualified. So the next question is from a business owner or a salesperson: how do I stay in touch with my clients on a consistent basis? Well, there's a guide that I have that I would love for you to go take a look at. Just go to jazztakhar.ca/vault. But essentially, there is easy ways to stay in touch with your clients, starting off with emailing. Look, if you email your clients twice a month, that's 24 touches already that you've done in a year. Now imagine if you called your clients 3 to 4 times a year just to check up on them with the product or service that you might have helped them with. Maybe they haven't bought yet. Well, maybe you can just ask if they're still in the process of looking. Another way of staying in touch with your clients is doing annual events. You could do a summer barbecue, you could do a holiday party. There are so many types of parties that you can put on. Look, I'm a massive football lover, like American football. So an easy way for me to stay in touch with my clients is every Sunday from September to about early February, you could do a Sunday football party. Another way just to bring people to you rather than you always going outbound to them. The next question is, how do I convince my prospect to buy or sell with me? Well, here's my overall macro thesis on selling. Don't convince. Your job as a salesperson is to sort for who's ready to do business with you now, who you should be staying in touch with, and 3, who never wants you to follow up with them. See, when you think about it from that perspective, you're never actually convincing anyone, because you might be really good at what you do and manipulate someone and get them to buy or sell with you. But they're never gonna wanna introduce you to their family and friends because you actually didn't take care of them. So your job is to sort, not convince. Thanks for watching today's episode of Rapid Fire with Jazz. If it brought you value, let me know in the comments. And if you didn't like it, that's okay. Let me know in the comments. You made it this far, and I appreciate it. Thank you. I want to make sure that you get more value from my page. Click on the next video and share it with a friend and leave me a comment. All your feedback is greatly appreciated.